First up, the 1967 Washington quarter is a coin that represents an era of transformation in the United States, not only in terms of its physical characteristics but also within the broader social and economic fabric of the nation. Part of the Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, the 1967 issue continues to bear the timeless profile of Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. His design, which had endured for decades by 1967, features Washington in left-facing profile, his expression dignified yet approachable, with intricate detailing in his hair, eyes, and facial contours. Encircling his portrait are the inscriptions, "Liberty," at the top, a declaration that anchors the coin firmly in the ideals of the nation's founding, and, "In God We Trust," along the left side, a phrase codified into U.S. coinage law decades earlier that emphasizes the moral and spiritual ethos the country sought to embody. Beneath the bust of Washington sits the date, 1967, clearly struck, indicating the specific year of minting, which situates this coin historically within a decade of significant social upheaval, political change, and economic adjustment. On the reverse, the coin features the heraldic eagle, perched atop a bundle of arrows and clutching an olive branch in its talons. This imagery, which has appeared on quarters since the original Washington design in 1932, conveys duality. The arrows symbolize the nation's readiness to defend itself, while the olive branch conveys a desire for peace. In 1967, this symbolism held resonance in the context of the Cold War, the Vietnam conflict, and domestic social movements. Coins such as this quietly circulated in the hands of Americans experiencing a period of tension and transformation, bearing witness to everyday life while embodying symbolic national ideals. The 1967 Washington quarter also marks a transitional phase in U.S. coinage materials. Prior to 1965, Washington quarters were struck in 90% silver, giving them intrinsic bullion value. However, rising silver prices and increased demand for coins necessitated a shift to a clad composition. By 1967, the quarters were struck with a pure copper core sandwiched between two layers of cupronickel, 75% copper and 25% nickel, creating a coin that retained much of the look and feel of the silver quarters but without the precious metal content. This change meant that while the 1967 quarter lacked the melt value of earlier issues, it remained highly significant for collectors and historians as part of the broader narrative of U.S. monetary policy and economic adaptation. The physical properties of the coin, including its slightly different color, metallic sound, and weight, can be noticed by a careful observer, and these subtleties contribute to its appeal for both casual collectors and numismatic scholars. When examining a 1967 Washington quarter in bad condition, one encounters a wealth of specific details that reveal the coin's long circulation history. Coins in poor condition typically display extensive wear. The high points of Washington's hair, cheekbones, and chin may be flattened. The eagle's feathers on the reverse can appear smoothed or partially merged, and inscriptions, including the minting date and motto, may be faint or partially illegible. Rim details are often worn down, and coins may show dings, scratches, discoloration, and the accumulation of surface grime, patina, or even corrosion. Spots. Such characteristics categorize the coin in low grades on the Sheldon scale, usually falling between good G4 and very good VG8. Despite the heavy wear, these coins still retain a degree of historical and aesthetic value. The story of decades in circulation, from pocket change to vending machines to cash registers, is physically embedded in the coin's surfaces. Collectors often value these low-grade coins not for their perfection but for their authenticity and the narrative of everyday American life they carry. The 1967 Washington quarter was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Coins struck at Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D located on the reverse beneath the wreath. Identifying the mint mark on a badly worn coin can be challenging, as wear often obscures the small letter, but doing so can impact the completeness of a collection or slightly influence market value. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 262,900,000 coins in 1967, while Denver produced roughly 277 million, making these coins relatively common in the general collector market. Even in bad condition, these quarters are widely accessible, appearing in coin shops, online marketplaces, and household coin collections, making them an affordable and approachable piece of American numismatic history. Beyond circulation wear, the 1967 Washington quarter offers collectors opportunities to discover minting anomalies and minor errors, even in low-grade examples. While finding a high-value variety on a heavily worn coin is rare, small misalignments, double dies, or planchette flaws occasionally surface. Collectors who specialize in error coins may seek out such examples, valuing them for their rarity and numismatic intrigue. The combination of high mintage numbers and the widespread distribution of these quarters means that while many examples are common, occasional anomalies create pockets of interest within the collector community. Value for a 1967 Washington quarter in bad condition is modest but notable for its accessibility. Circulated coins in grades good to very good generally sell for slightly above face value, reflecting their collectible appeal rather than intrinsic metallic content. While these coins do not reach the premium levels of pre-1965 silver quarters or rare error coins, they remain an important and attainable entry point for beginners. Collectors often seek such coins to complete typesets or circulation sets, and their availability at low prices allows newcomers to explore coin grading, historical context, and the nuances of condition without significant financial investment. Educators and numismatic programs also use low-grade examples like these to teach coin handling, observation, and history, reinforcing their value beyond simple monetary considerations. The 1967 quarter also carries significant cultural and historical weight. Coins minted and circulated during this period participated in the everyday lives of millions of Americans, quietly reflecting a nation undergoing social and political transformation. From the grocery stores and vending machines of the 1960s to the changing landscapes of urban and rural America, the coins of this era, even in bad condition, tell the story of daily commerce and social experience. The wear and marks on a coin reflect decades of interaction, a kind of tactile history that modern collectors often find compelling. Each scratch, worn feature, or discoloration serves as a historical record, connecting the modern numismatist with a generation that lived through the social upheavals, economic shifts, and technological changes of the late 1960s. Collectors who pursue low-grade examples often appreciate the 1967 Washington quarter not for perfection but for the story it embodies. Even a coin with a flattened eagle or a barely readable date represents a tangible link to mid-20th century America. Collectors may note the subtle differences in wear patterns, examining how the coin's history of handling shaped its surface. In some cases, the accumulation of grime, oxidation, or natural patina can actually enhance the coin's appeal, providing visual cues about its journey through circulation. Historical context adds depth. A heavily worn 1967 quarter may have passed through countless hands, witnessing events in daily life in a way that modern mint condition coins cannot replicate. In addition to historical and aesthetic considerations, the 1967 Washington quarter in bad condition offers an educational lens into coin production. Understanding how the Philadelphia and Denver mints operated, the methods of striking, the transition from silver to clad coinage, and the materials science behind cupronical layers, all contribute to a deeper appreciation of the coin. Even in heavily worn states, the physical properties of the coin, weight, diameter, composition, can be studied to reveal information about mid-20th century minting technology and material choices. This knowledge is particularly valuable for collectors who want to understand the evolution of U.S. coinage and the economic reasoning behind the removal of silver from circulation coins in the mid-1960s. The 1967 Washington quarter in bad condition thus occupies a unique space in the numismatic world. While common and modest in market value, it provides an accessible entry point for collectors, a tactile connection to history, and an educational artifact demonstrating the evolution of U.S. minting practices. Its wear tells a story of decades in circulation, offering a visual record of American daily life and economic activity in the late 20th century. Whether used to complete a typeset, studied for minting details, or appreciated as a historical object, This coin embodies layers of meaning that extend far beyond its modest material worth. From the Flanagan-designed obverse to the iconic eagle reverse, from Philadelphia and Denver mint varieties to the subtle anomalies and errors, the 1967 Washington quarter remains a coin that captures both the tangible and symbolic aspects of mid-century American life. Even in the worst conditions, the coin holds value as a numismatic artifact, an educational tool, and a piece of living history, reflecting not only the monetary system but also the social and cultural currents of its era. Collectors and enthusiasts alike recognize that the story of a heavily worn coin can be as compelling as that of a pristine example, offering insights into circulation patterns, economic history, and the life of objects within society. Every scratch, dent, and worn feature is a testament to its journey, transforming what might seem like a common coin into a bridge across time, connecting us to the lives, transactions, and experiences of countless Americans from over half a century ago.